Middle. Hello, guys. Hi.
Afternoon, guys. Hope you're well. We will take questions in English first and then in Spanish, please. If you can raise your hand to let us know that you'd like to ask a question. We'll come to as many of you as we can. Appreciate, obviously, it's an incredibly busy room when you're holding on to the microphone. We'll start in the middle here with Simon.
Hi, Bernardo. Last season, when you won everything, people said it's historic. It had only ever been done once before in English football, but yet here you are with the possibility of doing the same again. Are you at all surprised that this group has put itself in a position to do something that clearly has never been done before?
Well, not surprised, no, because this group has proved throughout the years that we're capable of getting to the final month of the season, fighting for all the competitions, and now it's where everything, all the tough things start, because it's not easy. It's not easy, obviously. That's why only two teams won the treble in English football, because it's not easy. But we're very happy to be in a position where we can fight for all of them, knowing that it's not easy. Our opponents are really, really good, but we're there. So we're really happy to be in this position, and it's another big challenge for us. Yeah.
Sorry. Where do we go to? Ben?
Hi, Bernardo. I just wonder, off the back of the weekend, with the way the results went, you played first, you won convincingly, you've then seen Liverpool and Arsenal drop points in the title race. Does it really feel now like that treble, that league title particularly, is right in your hands, and that this is a team that doesn't give that up very often, does it?
Well, it was obviously a very good weekend for us. We're not going to deny that, because personally I wasn't expecting both teams to drop points. And before, we didn't depend on ourselves, so we had to do our job and wait for them to drop points. And now the situation changed a bit, because we just depend on ourselves. If we do our job properly, we win the Premier League. So yeah, happy with the results in the weekend, not going to deny that. But long way to go. So 2 weeks ago, when we played Arsenal, everything looked like it was gone, and now everything looks like Man City is going to win the Premier League. Maybe in 2 weeks everything will change again. So football, that's why football is so beautiful, because things change so quick, and you need to be really focused game by game. It's not right to start thinking about travels and all these kind of things, because it's not realistic. It's game by game. We have Madrid tomorrow. Then on the weekend we have another tough game against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Then we have the Premier League, and in 1 week we could lose all three competitions as well. So we need to be really focused game by game to do our job well, and to extend this hope for 1 more week, maybe one more, and then eventually we'll do it again.
Oh.
Hi, Bernardo. You obviously beat Real Madrid 4-0 here last season. It's the best performance of the season. How much of that match have you watched back, and how much confidence does that give you, knowing that you could do that to them?
Well, I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the game back, so I only have the feeling of what we did on the pitch on that day. Two different seasons. It never happens. The same game in football, it never happens again. So I feel Madrid is stronger this season than they were last season. That was my feeling when we played them at the Bernabeu, and for sure they'll want a bit of revenge for that result as well. So it's going to definitely be a very different game tomorrow.
Right.
Bernardo, tudo bem? I would like to ask you about Kroos and Modric, two of potentially the best midfielders that we've ever seen or lately in football. I would like to ask if there are inspirations for you. What do you take from their game, and what do you think about them nowadays?
Definitely role models and the inspiration for me personally, because they play more or less in a position where I can play. And the consistency, you see, it's not just one or 2 seasons. They've been doing this for 15 years. Modric even longer, because he's a bit older than Toni Kroos. And after everything they achieved, they keep going, and they're just such an example for all the kids that are starting to play football, to see the way they behave on the pitch, and how important and how collective. They don't think about themselves, they think about the team and the way they play. All the decisions they make, it's all about the team, and that's a big example for everyone that plays the game, and I think it's the way the game should be played.
Bernardo, just going back to the Real game at home last year, it felt like Valverde said over the summer that it was the most difficult stadium he's ever played in, and mentioned the way that you played, but also the supporters. Are you able to just look back on the night as a whole, and how you felt between yourselves and the fans, and what that did for you?
Well, yeah, we had that feeling, and we still have the feeling that at home we're very strong with our people, and it just felt, after what happened the season before, when we were knocked out by Madrid at the Bernabeu, the way that happened, we wanted to put things right in a way for us, and that performance was also a bit of an apology to our fans in a way for what happened the season before, because we knew that we owe them another chance to win the competition, when we finally did it. And yeah, now this season it's a different game for sure. Different teams, they had their signings, we had our signings, and players that left. Different forms, so let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. But we're very confident, because we play at home, knowing that we play against the kings of the competition. So we have a lot of respect for Madrid, and we know how tough it's going to be.
Hi Bernardo, I just wanted to ask about Kevin De Bruyne. How did his absence affect your performance in the first leg, and how important is it that he's back for the second leg, and how will that change the way you play?
Well, when Kevin is present, everything is different, because he's one of the best players of our generation. So we're not going to deny that we're better without Kevin than with Kevin. So definitely a big boost for the team to have him back. And yeah, hopefully he's on a good day, because when he's on a good day, it's difficult to stop him.
Go here, please, Sam.
Hi Bernardo, when you look at the season as a whole, and go back to October, November, December, when you were playing well but conceding a lot of goals, not getting the results, but obviously now you've not lost since December, now started scoring a lot of goals, the mentality of Madrid last week to come back from setbacks, how do you explain the kind of ups and downs of this season? Has it been like a tactical development, is it attitude, mental?
Well, there's always an explanation, of course, but I think it's a mix of very different things. From a team that won the treble to come back, it's on a little bit of a hangover from winning the treble, and to have that hunger again, to go again every 3 days, it's not easy. Also, it was a mix of having a lot of players injured in that time, of having new players arriving to the team, and big players that left. So our captain from last season, for example, Gundogan or Riyad Mahrez, people left, so new players had to adapt, and it's not easy to adapt to a new club. And then I remember it was a time where we had a lot of defenders injured, and we had also Rodri suspended, which no one can deny is a very important player for us. Kevin De Bruyne with a long injury. So everything put together, sometimes the team is not perfect. And what our feeling inside the team, and what we agreed and we really wanted to do, was to fight as much as we could, to give ourselves a chance at the end of the season to still fight for all the competitions. Not be 20 points ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool, but to be there with them to fight. And we're very happy that we could achieve this. And now we can fight for all the 3 competitions, even with the ups and downs that you said, they were true. There was a time in the season when the team was not playing well. we were not controlling the games. The games were very transitional games, which is not the way we like to play. We like to control the tempos. We were conceding a lot of chances, conceding a lot of late goals, which is not normal for our team. But yeah, with the effort of all of us, with a bit of extra from every player, we managed to get better, to be more solid. And as you said, I think since December or something that we haven't lost a football game. So we're happy to get to this part of the season with the chance to still fight for the three most important competitions.
One more in English and then we'll move into Spanish. Jamie?
Hi, Bernardo. Hi. I understand that you take each game at a time and that's the only way you can be. But you could not only win the treble again, it'd be consecutive, 2 years in a row. If that was to happen, you'd probably be the greatest team ever, I would suggest, because it's never been done before. Can that inspire you? I understand you have to, take each game at a time, but can that inspire this team to sort of,
Of course, obviously, inspiration and motivation, because we know how well this team has done in the last. I've been here. This is my 7th season. And we want to create that legacy, and we want to win another Premier League, to do 6 in 7 years, and to do 4 Premier Leagues in a row. And we want to win the Champions League, to win 2 in a row. That only Madrid did once, 3 in a row, but no one else won consecutive Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. And if we can win the 2 trebles in a row that no one did, that would be legacy. So that's definitely motivation, knowing that it's very, very difficult, because as I said, in 1 week we could be out of all the competitions. But we're fighting for it, and we're gonna do everything in our power to each day be a step closer to that goal.
Here, take a couple of questions in Spanish. Any hands, please, guys?
¿Qué tal, Bernardo? Aquí los periodistas ingleses hablan del triplete.
They talk about the treble here, but you said tomorrow you're playing against the king of the competition in Real Madrid. In the dressing room, you're the champions of Europe. What does it feel like when you're facing Real Madrid? You know it's going to be a difficult game, but you know what happened 2 years ago in the Bernabeu. Well, we have the maximum respect for Real Madrid, for everything that they've achieved in this competition and in their history, obviously. And we know that it's a very dangerous football team. They're really dangerous because it's a team that play very differently to us. Sometimes you feel you're in control of the game, and then they get in behind a couple of times and they score goals. So it's very difficult to control Real Madrid, because they give you the feeling that you have the game under control, but you never have it under control. And that's why they've won this competition so many times. Individually, I think they could be one of the best teams in the world. If you look player by player, they're really strong, they're quick, they're good, all of them. So we have a lot of respect for Real Madrid. We know that we're playing at home, and we're very, very confident because we're playing well, we're in good form at the moment, and we have great ambition, but I have maximum respect for Real Madrid.
Hi, Bernardo, we're here. Just going back earlier.
Guys, we're doing Spanish questions now, please. So if it's not Spanish, I haven't got time, unfortunately.
Okay.
Thank you. Just pass it to the lady in white, please, Ellen.
Oddio, I'm so sorry. Okay. My best. Ok. Soy famosa por eso, porque siempre hago algo un poco così, però eso non era studiato. Quanto es importante?
How important is it to have Kyle Walker back? Well, it's really important because we know that Kyle is a player that has controlled some of the best players in the world, the ones that play out wide. He always does a phenomenal He always does phenomenal work when he plays. He's a really important player for us. We've not, unfortunately, had him available for the Madrid game, but now we do have him. We don't know what exact condition he is in at the moment. We'll find out from the manager. He will know better than me. And he'll make his decision whether he plays him tomorrow or not. But I'm sure that if he doesn't play, we have other solutions, other options. But I'm not going to say that he's not an important player. He's our captain. And in the last few years, he's played against players like Vinicius, Mbappe, Neymar, and he knows how to defend against them like nobody. Perhaps, they can still cause him problems and they can cause damage, but he's a really important player. You can't deny that. Hi, Bernardo. Last year, you did big damage to Real Madrid. You beat them 4-0. The feeling of the team, they really felt that. This year, in the return leg, it's almost like a similar result. It's a draw. In the first leg, it was a draw. What similarities do you see with regard to the tie based on last season, and what differences do you see in Real Madrid? Well, it's a different team because they've changed the way that they play. Last season, I think they played more of a 4-3-3 system. So it's difficult to say, but they play a little bit more 4-4-2, normal. Benzema comes out, and Bellingham can play as a false 9, but he also gets into the opponent's box. Rodrigo is a great player. Last season he didn't play all the time, but this season he's been playing really well. And I think they're two different sides. We've had our players that have left the club and players that have come in also. So I'm sure that their pride was damaged for what happened last season. So I'm sure it will be a very different game to last season. We want to go into the game strongly, we're confident, but we have to have great respect for Real Madrid when we go into the game. And let's see and what we were lacking in the Bernabeu, because we weren't great and we didn't play perfectly well, and let's see if we can correct those things to be better going into this game and to control the game better.
Thank you.
Is
that okay? You hear me?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
She went forward to get the mic, the chair flipped up and she's...
Yeah, she started saying like...
No, they're not. Don't be saying that. You're the right yes. Give it to Jolly to the end of the season. Wayne Rooney.
Afternoon, guys. Same again. We'll try and share it around those who missed out in that section. But if you can raise your hand, somebody would like to ask a question. Ask the questions in English first, and then in Spanish. Somewhere to start.
Hi, Pep. For you, given your background as a player and a manager, how big is a game against Real Madrid?
Always have been and always will be. When you say Real Madrid, in this competition, always a big game.
Is it the game inside that motivates you the most?
No, it's special for me. Of course it is. Many times as a football player manager. But this doesn't count. Count is what you have to do to win tomorrow. And we have to adjust something. We have not done really good in Bernabeu. The result was really good. And counting where you play, against the opponent you play, it's more than fine. But you have to perform a little bit better. Today we have the last training. We will talk about that and go for it.
Last year the questions would have been about whether your team had the mentality to win the Champions League. Could they do it? Could they get over the line? Obviously, you've answered those questions. So before a big game like this, do you feel like the pressure's off? Do you sense that for the players the pressure is off a little bit?
I hope no. You need that pressure, feel that pressure, and that you don't want to lose the game. If you think, okay, we have done it already, we will not have this piece of hunger, to compete against the teams. So it's true that the fact that we won it, we feel better all the season, comfortable, but you have to take the right energy. I think our people at home will help us a lot. So we sold out everything, and we need a lot of noise. We need a lot of presence of them, especially in bad moments, because what I said before the game in Madrid, so again, that you are 90 minutes all the time. You are better. So there are moments that you have to suffer. Then the results cannot be good, and we need them. They will be. I'm pretty sure of that because they know we will be. So in this time of games, I'm not talking win or losing. I'm talking be present, be who we are. Always we have been in the last years, and had the feeling that we are prepared. We are prepared to perform well at maximum our best. Otherwise, you cannot reach semi-finals against teams like Madrid.
Hi, Pep. Historically, this is the most difficult week of the season, really, with the schedule of the Wednesday night and then the Saturday game. We've spoken about how tough it is for the players, but how demanding is it of you as well? How do you find the time to prepare for a massive game on Wednesday and a massive game on Saturday?
I'm used. So
it's long days, sleepless nights.
It's better to be here than here. It's better to be in Wednesday, Saturday than don't be here. So I will not complain 1 second about that. So it's what it is. So say we have more days to prepare. Yeah, but it is what it is. So 24 hours a day is a lot. So you can find a way. You have a lot of people help you. Because what's important is to take the right decisions, and that is what you think more than the fact of work, because at the end we play last season against Madrid, last week we know each other, they know us, we know them. We have to be aware make some surprises like Carlo has done in the first game, and right mentality and ready to suffer and ready to it's never end until we end, in a good way and a bad way. So and always we had momentums in Etihad Stadium, so we had these our momentums, and hopefully extending as longer as possible, and in that way, always we can do it.
Hi Pep, can I ask you about Kyle Walker back in the squad at the weekend, although he didn't play? Bernardo has just sat there and said, as the captain, he's so important to what you do, and he's pointed to those games where he's come up against opponents like Vinicius, like Mbappe, and how well he defends against them. What position is he in terms of his availability? Could he start, or is he
I'm going to see the what I said the last 1 or 2 trains. He trains good. He feels but he feels good. His face, his mood, and I don't know from the beginning. I don't know on the bench. I don't know, but I think he will be with us tomorrow. And it's like Bernardo said, is incredible good news for many reasons. So, but today now at 4 we have the last training session and we will decide.
If he is available, how important is he in those matchups that Bernardo was talking about against those elite players?
Of course, it's important. So in Euro, the physicality is massive. Importantly, when you have to, at the end, football is how you challenge your opponent, and And that attributes the quality from Kyle. Everybody knows it. It's special. But he was not in Bernabeu, and all the guys were exceptional, because in Bernabeu we had a big problem because Nathan was not there. Josko was until last minute. Kyle was not there. Should maybe have played with Josko there, left back John, and maybe Roddy central defender. So we had a big problem. Now today we are a little bit better. We arrive in a better positions to to switch some players and make some adjustment just in case we need it. So because they make a good effort. So it's important that Kyle and Nathan being in the bench, and they trained yesterday, and they feel good. After the training, I say, how you feel? Yeah, I feel good. That is a good news after we decide.
James.
Hi, Pep. Jude Bellingham's been Real Madrid's best player this season. He's probably England's best player, wanted by all of England's top clubs. What does it say about him as a person to have the confidence to go to somewhere like Madrid, be their best player, and not maybe make the easy choice to come somewhere?
I think Bellingham shows just arriving. So playing a top club like Madrid, Barcelona, the other one is not easy to settle quick, and he settled down quicker. So from the beginning, the impact was huge in terms of goals, in terms of presence, and many things. Is at his age. So I think he feels and handle the pressure without a problem. Have a good, mentality, and he's an exceptional player. So what can I say? You have to control him. Take a look. Really, he does.
Would you like to see him in England?
Sorry?
Would you like to see him in England?
I don't know. It's a question for him. I think he can for when he play national team in Wembley. So it's a question for him. I don't know.
Hi, Pep. Bernardo said earlier that he feels this Real Madrid side this season is stronger than the one you guys faced last season. Do you agree with that? And if so, what do you think about Real Madrid this season is better? What worries you about them this season?
Okay, maybe I wouldn't say that I disagree with Bernardo, but I'm not completely agreeing neither. So last season Madrid had a really good different ones, but Benzema he moved all the positions, and Luka Modric was playing more minutes. Man, Modric, just the few minutes he played was amazing in Bernabeu. So I think it's exceptional team. Last season, the previous one, this one, Madrid always have a good team. This is my feeling. I know when I said good things about Madrid, the people don't believe me in Madrid. When I said some jokes or whatever, the people always believe I am taking the piece. It's not about that. So when I was a football player, when I'm a manager, I always have a good opinion about the quality, the history of Real Madrid. I always have been that. What the people have to think about my comments is really, honestly, it's not my business.
David, whichever.
Hi, Pep. Bernardo was just talking about how the players are motivated to become the first English team to do the treble twice and win the Premier League 4 times in a row, back-to-back Champions Leagues. To what extent can you use that as motivation for the players? Because we saw in the Netflix documentary that you used the chance to create history as a motivational tool. Is that something you can draw on again, the chance to create fresh history?
I would like, I'm not going to say don't feel this to my players when they feel it. I have a different opinion. We are far away from that hypothetical dreams. So we are in the final FA Cup, when we are 1 or 2 games left with, 3, 4, 5 points advantage, and we are already in final Champions League, I will start to think about that. But before game against Madrid, we are, you see yesterday Chelsea how strong they are on Saturday, and after, what is 2 points difference when they need to play? When I was 2 points down, Arsenal-Liverpool, I was thinking, we have to do our job. It's not over. Now we are 2 in front. It's not over. It's the same feeling I have the previous weeks when we draw against Arsenal, and the people say, no chance of the computer. I don't know the computer play right back or left back. I don't know how to discover that. When the computer say you don't have chance, and now you have chance, so nothing changed for me. So it's 6 games. We have a lot of difficult games, home and away with opponents. They have, both of them. And it's just 1 game at a time. A game at a time means Madrid tomorrow, what do you have to do to beat them, and a step by step. And when, honestly, I start to think in the travel when we beat United in the FA Cup final last season. And I said, okay, 1 down, 1 game away to do something exceptional. But the success for me this season is we are there. So after win the treble, still being in that position with a 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, depend the finals, FA Cup or Champions League, being in contention to be there, is heads off, it's chapeau, it's incredible. But at the same time, we are here, extend this chance one more week. So, and this is what we try to do tomorrow and Saturday and next games.
Pep, when you played Real Madrid in the Champions League with Barcelona, particularly in 2011, I mean, there was so much noise off the pitch in those games. It was intense, toxic, extreme. Is it a relief almost now that it's just about the football? And in a way, does it feel less pressure on those games than you faced back in 2011?
Yeah, but it's what it is. So I want to tell you what it is. You could not control that time what happened. I cannot control what happened here. I can control here in front of you, my job, and the rest, not do it. Of course, Madrid, Barcelona is so special for many, many reasons, for history. And when you play semi-final Champions League or this, it's normal. But it looks like a long time ago. We live it there, experience that. Now it's different. Yeah, of course it's different. But at the same time, it's a football game. They want to beat us. We want to beat them. And I know, I had the feeling that we will perform well. We are excited, happy, nervous a little bit. Have a mix of feelings before tomorrow. That is nice to have it. I said before your colleagues, so it's better to be here than don't be. You know, it's a lot of games. Forget about it. In October, November, I complain a lot of games because still is far away, but we are 1 month away, being in those competitions again after win 2 titles this season, 3 last season at home, that we believe we can do whatever we can with incredible energy. With our people, we feel safe, we feel protect, we feel support, we know we can handle the momentums and we can do a lot of things in few times. And yeah, from the beginning, we're going for it. We're going. We have a game plan. I believe in that. Yeah, we go. Win or lose. We lose against Madrid. Shake hands. Congratulations. For sure, we'll deserve it. We try. We're going to play for the fact that we reach semi-final and we deserve it. I want to play because we deserve to win semi-final. This is what I want. And for that, we know exactly what you have to do. We know it.
Last one in English, please, guys.
Yeah. Pep, hi. Bernardo said that we cannot compare this game, tomorrow night game, with last year's game. So I would like to know which way tomorrow night's game will be really different, and is this week the most difficult week for your team of the season?
No. Listen, if yesterday we play against Madrid, the game last season, we play today will be different. So not any game is completely the same that the last season. So of course we'll not be like last season. We know it. They learn, we learn. It's impossible. We know each other better, so we know it. But in the same times, we will try to do what you have to do, and it's the most difficult week. It's what it is. I've said before, I prefer, to play of difficult. Yeah, it is. But the guys or the teams cannot play that. It's not difficult, but they cannot play it. And it's nice to be here. Again, you had the chance to be for 4 years in a row semi-final Champions League. This is something exceptional for a club like Manchester City. Exceptional. So we have the chance to be, 4 years in a row semi-final with 2 finals. And this is the dream. This is the target. This is what you have to try to do.
Pep, por acá. Eduardo Vidal para HSM Deportes. Hace algunos meses,
a few months ago, Francisco Celo said that when he watched City, reminded him a lot of a handball team. And I wanted to know, what aspects of other sports have you been able to incorporate into football? A few. But I like lots of sports, but I've not had time to watch that many sports, to be honest. 11 years of having games every 3 days, it's different. When I speak to Barra Rivera, I ask them things about different sports and what things we can take from them. That's for sure. Hi, Pep. You spoke about that in the first game they surprised you. You said you were going to analyse them, to think about what Carlo Ancelotti did. I don't know if you've analysed them already and you've thought about anything about the second game. We have to be prepared, but we won't know until the 10th, 15th minute the qualities of who's playing and looking at the way they were playing the game. There are some things we need to do better. We need to be better in certain aspects that we weren't good in the first game. But that's not for the merit of what we did, but we have to give them credit also. Real Madrid aren't any opponents, so what they did, we have to adjust to it and see what we can do to impose our way of playing as much as possible. It's impossible to do that for 90 minutes, and they're not able to do it for 90 minutes either. You've won everything over your career. There have been all types of situations in games, but every time you play Real Madrid, we see you a little bit worried. It's almost like you have another eye on what they're doing. Could you say that Real Madrid is the opponent you fear the most? No, I don't fear them. I respect them a lot. I've faced them many times. You know, I'm not going to talk about great things about them. You know, they're a great side. I give you my opinion. I respect Real Madrid. If you ask me a question, I'll give you my opinion. And if I say that I am scared of them, I would be being false. I spoke about the condition of the pitch, and I said it with all the best wishes in the world. It's their decision to change that if they don't do that. You can believe what you want when I speak. I've played against them many times as a player, and I've always had great respect for Real Madrid. And I have to have respect. There's obviously the rivalry. You want to beat them. You want to do well. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. I want to do as well as we can, be ourselves. If it can't be, it doesn't matter. But I'm not scared of them. I have great respect for them. And if they beat me, as has happened many times, we'll say congratulations and wish them well in the future. Hi, Pep. In the first game, you spoke after the game about the great image that Carlo Ancelotti has as a manager and the teams he puts out and the way he set up the team. Do you also expect something different for this second game? But all these games that you're playing in the last few years, if we analyse them, it feels like we can kind of forget about these press conferences because it's almost like a Netflix series with all these games that you've had. What feeling do you have? Do you think it will be a magical game like in previous years? I believe you. Yeah, we can forget about the press conferences. That would be great. We can do that right now. But I think it will be. You're facing Real Madrid. They want to attack you, create chances. Not whenever they want to. They're very, very dangerous. They've always been that team that can cause you problems. And they know that we're going to give everything in the game. We're going to try to win it. And it's good. I think it's good. I think that if the games have been good in the previous years, I think tomorrow will also be a good game. What was the first part of your question? Perhaps they will do something different. Perhaps. If you say that, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what happens. It's a knockout game. They will have seen the way that we played. They will adjust certain things. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll be different. I think we have to be prepared if they make changes, and we have to make adjustments as soon as possible in the game.
Thank you. Folks.